Bella, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks.
Tell us about the movie and your character.
My character is Marjorie Waddell. The film is, it's a war story. It's set on the Western Front, but my character is kind of almost part of like a separate film that is this love story between Marjorie and Oliver Woodward, and it's based on a true story based on Oliver's journals from his experience in the war.
I mean, it's certainly an amazing Aussie film. How much time did you spend filming compared to everybody else? Because you are sort of a separate story.
Well, we shot our love story in the first week and a bit of the shoot, and then they went to war, went to the trenches for the next 5.5 weeks, I think.
Have you seen yourself on like any of the advertising billboards yet or anything like that?
I've seen the short, but I haven't seen. I mean, I saw the poster just here, but I haven't seen it sort of in the flesh, in public.
How does it feel like to see your face like on this movie poster?
It's pretty surreal. I only saw it for the first time yesterday. I was talking to Brendan in his room, and there's just this big poster in the corner, and I was like, no, it's funny.
Going back to the movie, do you think women played an important role in the war?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I mean, their aim was to keep their husband, partner, family morale high, I'd say, with letters and care packages, and just to be a support for them.
And what kind of research did you do before filming? Like, because it's based on a true story, so it's a little bit different than you just going, okay, I'm going to play this character. Yeah,
well, my research was based predominantly on photos and artwork that Marjorie created later in her life, and also Oliver's journals. So there were these incredible photos of Marjorie that, I don't know, I'd love to know who took them, but her kind of like lying across a chaise lounge, sort of like semi-nude, these amazing artistic shots, and these sculptures she made of Indigenous Australians, and she was a really creative girl.
What are their journals like?
They're difficult to describe. They're so period, like the language and the way they just, he describes war, and then it's like interspersed with something really pedestrian, like something about tea or...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Did you do you feel like the diary sort of helped you?
I think it was more of a prop for Brendan, because Oliver's journals, he's more about his experience in the war, but it was good to kind of give me a bit of snippets to give me background.
Your outfits in the film are stunning. How was it wearing period costume?
It just felt like dress-ups every day. I felt like a princess, and they were all authentic pieces that Wendy had sourced in England, in London, at Portobello Road markets and at different costume houses. So they're all almost 100 years old, these dresses, and like even the corset, just the detail and everything was just so stunning.
Were they comfortable to wear?
No, but it helped with the character and helped with the characterization, and it wasn't necessarily uncomfortable, and you just feel so much more elegant, so it's worth it.
What do you think the difference between women now is compared to women back in 1916?
Well, I think more freedom, less rigidity, like, and our clothing allows for that. Whereas everything back then, everything was covered and everything was like tight and laced in and held up, and not now.
The chemistry between you and Brendan in the film, for me, it felt quite real. What was it like working with him?
He's great to work with. He's just hilarious. And I'd known him before filming commenced, so it was just very easy,
Obviously, you really only work with him in the film.
Yeah.
But have you met any of the other guys?
Yeah, I met the boys at a round table read prior to the shoot in Sydney, and I kind of met them, some of them were arriving as I was leaving. And also my parents, so I worked with Jacqueline McKenzie and Jerry Lepowski. I had a bit of interaction with the cast.
And how does it feel to work on a film which sort of celebrates Australian history?
It's exciting, it's exciting to tell a great Australian story and one that hasn't been told.
And what's next on the cards for you?
Not sure. Just see what happens. Maybe a bit of travelling and.
Do you still want to continue acting?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what sort of response do you want from the public from this movie?
I just hope that people are excited by it and get behind it and support it. And support, not just because it's an Australian film and a true Australian story, but because of it's a story about these men and their courage, and it deserves to be told.
Awesome. Well, Bella, thank you so much for chatting with us today.
Thank you.
Thanks.